Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm all right, but I'm just like bristling with anticipation of the story you're going to tell.
Well, I mean, it's not an amazing story, so you can't set it up like that, but it is kind of funny. Do you want to start with that, or you want to start with what we did this weekend?
I guess let's start with what we did this weekend.
Yeah.
So we played at Paddy Max and O'Shea's. O'Shea's was James and I.
Yep.
And
'Cause I was all the way in Tennessee. So
yeah, man. Did you have a good time?
I had a good time, except that is a brutal drive, man. It's 16 hours to get there. Then I was only there for 2 days, and then 16 hours to get back. We didn't get home till like 5 a.m. because I just refused to stop.
Yeah.
So
I mean, once you get in that mode, I know the mode.
It's funny. I was telling James a story about, coming back and like, every time I got to like a milestone, I was like, well maybe just the next town. Well, maybe just the next town. And then you get to a point where like, well, I'm only 3 hours from home at this point,
Yeah, that's what we did when we came
Right. And that's exactly what James told Kelly. He's like, oh, so it was like being on tour. Like he just never stops. I'm like, I can't help it, man.
No, I did the exact same thing, dude.
I just wanted to get home.
Yeah, I understand. So what did you do when you were in Tennessee?
Not a whole lot, man.
Did you go over to the studio again?
I was thinking about swinging by there.
For the listener, I'm talking about Sun Studios because we recorded our album there, and Hector's been there a couple of times.
Yeah. I actually intended on going there, but like a bonehead, when I left town, I forgot to bring an album with me, so I felt weird showing up empty-handed. So
I keep meaning to send him.
I know, and I was gonna bring it to him because I was literally gonna be there, and I was just gonna hand it to him and be like, "Hey, here's the album that you engineered for us." But then I forgot to bring it.
Oh, that sucks.
There was a bonehead, man.
Life goes on. Then we, while you were away, James and I played at O'Shea's, which was, I tell you what, we do quite a few duo gigs. And so it's no kind of statement of, oh, it was really great, you weren't there. Nothing like that. It was really good for some reason. We
just sounded really good that night, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
And we just managed to dial it in, and James is on fire. I tell you what, James has been getting really good lately.
He's been like, it's those camps he goes to, man.
I know
he's just getting so stupid good.
Yeah, he's like a legit, like real life bluegrass banjo player.
Yeah, for real, man.
It's cool.
Yeah, he's getting really good. And then Paddy Max on Saturday.
Yeah, it was fun. It thinned out a little bit at the end. Don't know why, but
it was Thanksgiving weekend, man. People had family in town, and other people just weren't in town. So it was to be expected. I wasn't surprised.
No, and I was looking forward to you getting back and playing a show with you, and I had a good time.
Yeah, it was good.
Do you remember like I was in a weirdly good mood?
Yeah, I think all of us were in a weirdly good mood that night. I don't know, man. It was the turkey. Was it tryptophan or whatever?
Oh, I know what it was. It was because they were putting a tree up, and it was like
that's what it was. So we were like Christmas mood on Saturday. That's what it was. They were putting the Christmas tree up while we were playing.
It felt like playing in someone's living room while they were kind of doing Christmas stuff. Yeah.
All right, so I got a little quick story I got to tell you though.
Yeah.
I got a quick little story to tell you about Killbillies.
Oh, no.
So I quit again. So the other day, I guess, I don't know, we'll go back a couple of months real quick, and I woke up one morning and there was all these comments on a lot of our posts about like, hey, click here and buy this hoodie, and it was our logo, but it wasn't us. It was somebody else. And so I was like, what the hell's going on? And come to find out later that after I did a little research that likely what it was is like one of these places, one of these, hackers that they set up a bot to do that. And then our fans would click on it, would be like, great, Killbilly's hoodie. They'd buy it. They'd never get the merchandise. And these people now have their credit card stuff captured, plus they have their money and stuff. So anyways, I had deleted all of those posts. I, blocked that bot or whatever, that name on Facebook, whatever. So fast forward and so we talked about at that time, like, maybe we should not copyright, but trademark. Maybe we should trademark the Killbillies name. Right? And so fast forward, I had started the ball rolling, but I didn't really follow up with it. I got sidetracked. There's 100 other things going on. I just never really followed through with it. So fast forward to a couple of days ago or whatever, and it happened again. We had about 15.
Yeah, I remember. I deleted a couple of them.
Yeah, so I deleted like 15 of them, and then again blocked the new bot or whoever it was. I blocked that one and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it was like some lady's name. But
but it's a bot. It's a bot. And so again, it was the same thing. Click here, and they're even as bold and as brass as to
Go in your post and like almost act like it's you.
Right, act like it's us, but then and like tag our fans. So like if like Kelly had commented on it, they'd be like, "Hey Kelly, check out our new hoodie" or whatever. It was like really, really brash of them. But so anyways, I deleted all that stuff, whatever, and it got me thinking again about the trademark, and I'm like, son of a bitch, like I really need to do that. So I really jumped on it yesterday morning, and that's when I was texting you and I was asking you about like when did Kill Billy start up and all that, because I needed the exact years and all that kind of stuff. So I'm putting in for all this stuff, and the way it works is you pay X dollars to a company. In this particular case, I used Trademark Engine, which they do not sponsor this podcast, but they were A-okay with me.
X is a letter, not a number, right? You can't pay X dollars.
You can pay X dollars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't know.
I don't know what country that's from, but there's an X dollar somewhere. Right. But it was like $50 or whatever it was to pay these guys. I think it was like $100, but Black Friday specials and all that stuff, Cyber Monday, whatever it is. So it was $50. They do an extensive search. You give them all this information. They do an extensive search, and they make sure that there's no direct hit on these databases in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office of anybody who's already registered anything that's like similar to that or similar enough that it's a direct hit. Like if I was trademarking, Apple, they would say, sorry, there's a direct hit. There's a company named Apple. That kind of stuff. So I put in for Kill Billies. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, there's not really, the only ones I know that are out there are Angry Johnny and the Kill Billies, but that's like a whole nother, like Angry Johnny and the Kill Billies. And then there's that Kill Billies movie, which was like some horror film, a few years back or whatever. Okay, so I get up today and I get an email. Like yesterday, they sent me a couple of emails. Can you fix this? Can you do that? Whatever. And then, it was like little things that they needed me to update and send them. I had to send them the logo being used, like on the drum head or something. So I do that. I send it in. They come back with an email today and they tell me, hey, bad news. We had a direct hit. And I go, son of a bitch. And so I thought, let me look at it, because if it is the movie, maybe because it's a different category. One's a movie, we're a band. Maybe they'll let us slide and still put in for it. Yeah. And so they didn't put in for the patent stuff, which of course is like $300 with the patent office fees or whatever. So they didn't put in for it, and they said, go check it out, see what you want to do, and then let us know if you want to stop it or move forward. So I go and I look at it, and sure enough, there's a Kill Billies, registered to the patent office or whatever. So I'm going through, and it's like registered through an attorney or something, an attorney service. And as I started looking at it, something looked really fishy about it. Like the attorney service was in Florida. So then I look at the owner name, and I click on it, and the screen opens up, and it says owner name Ben Childs of Tequesta, Florida. You jackass! We've already owned the name since 2017.
I know, but you have to pay money to keep it going.
No, no, it's like every 25 years or whatever the hell.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, well that's cool. So, sorry about all that.
You already did it.
Oh, nice one. Okay, I do apologize.
Yeah, so anyway,
so does that mean we can sue him then?
Yeah, but it's a bot. Who are you going to sue?
Do you think it's just no one? Yeah, but I guess
you'll never track him down.
You can't keep digging into it.
You'll never track it down. It's a hack.
I'm going to make it my life's work. I knew that I'd done something a while back. I didn't know that it was like, because Christy got a letter.
Right. Well, it's under both your names. It's under your name and Christy's
Christy
name.
got a letter a while back saying you have to pay X amount of money.
No, you did it through an attorney. It says that it's still active. It's still live.
Oh, she must have paid some extra money.
It's in both your name and Christy's name with your Riverside address.
Oh, rock and roll. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, man.
Did you pay him any money?
$49, but whatever.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I emailed them back because I said that's for the name. That's what's registered. Is the logo registered? And so they're going to answer me back. If the logo is not registered, then we'll register the logo.
I don't think that specific one could be. I think maybe some kind of
just the goat head. I don't care, because all the any of the writing is already trademarked, because you have it, the way you have it trademarked is it's not a specific logo. It's the name Kill Billies with no specification to font or typeface. So no matter how it's written, it's always trademarked under you.
Oh, dope.
But the logo, the goat head, I don't think that's trademarked. So they're going to let me know if that is or not. If it's not, then I'll push forward with that.
Yeah, okay.
Just so we have that as well. But anyway, I just thought it was a funny story.
It is, because
I'm like scrambling, and I'm like, oh God, we got to get this done. People are stealing our stuff, and we got to get this done. And, oh wait, you already did it, Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's embarrassing. Well, the truth is that Christy did it, which is even more embarrassing, because I didn't even do it. It was my wife did it for me. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, it's very fun. We have Saint Optional with us. We have going from over here to over here, left to right. We have Wally, Kristen, and Jesus with us. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good, man. Thanks so much for driving all the way up here. Where are you guys from exactly?
I'm from Miami.
And what about you guys?
We're from Margate.
Okay, cool. Where do you guys all practice?
Miami.
Yeah,
and how far is that for you guys to get to Miami?
For me, it's like 55 minutes.
Wow.
I was in a band in Boynton Beach and I live in Tequesta, so that was like a 45-minute practice drive. It does get it's not too bad. It's only another 10 minutes on top of that. I suppose it depends on the traffic, though.
I think it depends on whether or not you're tired.
You're like Margaret's more north, though, right? More north of Miami.
Yeah, it's over by Coral
west.
Springs. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. Well, how often do you guys practice?
Once a week at the minimum.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Let's go just right to the sort of crux of the matter. How long have you guys been a band?
Well, we've had several iterations. One was with different people since about 2012 through like 2016 or 17.
Okay.
And then
when you say we, who were original?
So Fran is a drummer who found me or I found him on Craigslist. We're really a Craigslist band throughout, and even now,
nice. Cool.
We haven't been murdered, and so
that's impressive.
We had a really cool setup with a guitar player from Venezuela, and then for immigration reasons, he had to go back home. So we had a little hiatus and kind of started bringing people back together, and again, that ended in hiatus when things got serious, and
it can be tough.
Yeah,
it can be tough.
It definitely is.
Yeah. So, how long's this version of the band been to?
1 year.
About it. He's the newest one.
Yeah, I've been like 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Around there. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's awesome.
And
glad to have you back in the world.
And you still have your drummer? Is Fran still in the band?
Fran is he's still playing with us, but he is looking at changing jobs up north and applying out of state.
Gotcha.
So
you three are the core of the band right now.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, nice one. In terms of the material that you've released, when was the first thing? What was the first thing you guys released?
First release was a little home recorded album called Escape to Mexico.
Okay.
And that
That's
was
a cool name.
2017, 2018, when, the wall was big and things like that. We're not a political band,
right.
But it sounded like a cool, catchy name. And so we did it. That was the first. It had 10 songs on it. Really like beginner type recordings that I thought was the best I could do at the time for being me,
Yeah, oh, sure, yeah.
Would you use at home, like what kind of software and stuff?
Oh, so I had definitely Cubase with some Waves plugins. Had no idea like how to work a compressor back then. And, like you guess, you're like the EQ for the bass should be bassy, and my guitar doesn't sound bassy enough, so more bass. And you're.
I remember those days. Yeah. I've been there for sure.
Bass.
Yeah, I remember doing that, like EQing a ton of like sub bass into the bass, thinking that was how to do it. Yeah.
And then the car mix,
Yeah.
You listen to it in the car, headphones, you're like, yes, and then car. And
yeah,
what
totally. Yeah. No, the car mix is crucial, man. The car mix is the mix, pretty much. Yeah, cool. So you've got some releases up there on Spotify that I saw. You got Figure It Out, Mine, and 7 up there. Did you release them all at the same time or separately?
No, we released them separately. So those were on a random schedule. We just kind of like, all right, cool, let's put it up today.
Okay.
I just kind of went up there randomly.
Yeah, nice.
No real preparation.
Wicked. Well, one of them has a lot of listeners, actually, I know. It's got like 20, 30,000 listeners on one of those.
Hey,
that's
people
awesome.
liked it. They liked it. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not complaining about numbers.
That's Jesus' mom. She's listening to
I
it.
know. And my grandmother.
Under the ground, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Nice one, Hector.
Dark joke.
Figures.
Dark joke.
Yeah, all right. Well, cool. So you're back on the horse. You're releasing new tunes. Where have you recorded the new tunes?
At home.
At home. Nice.
Yeah.
They sound amazing. So,
Thank you.
They sound good.
how are you guys doing it now?
So the drum setup was natural acoustic. I didn't want to use any of the program drums.
Okay.
And
are you doing the recording primarily? Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Natural acoustic drums, wicked. And then in terms of the guitars, firstly, what software are you on? A Mac or a PC? Or?
definitely a Mac guy.
Yeah.
I got corrupted.
Yeah.
That kind of happened.
I mean, for music, it's
I mean, it's just the question of you're gonna plug it in and it works.
Yeah.
And I'm not having to download drivers or viruses.
I was just saying to someone yesterday, I was like, literally the only reason I use a Mac over a PC is because it doesn't crash as often. That's like the only reason. I don't care about any other thing. It doesn't crash as often, and like there's not like some weird software problem going on all the time.
Yeah, and it's all pretty streamlined. And I mean, for us, it works out just because if we're working at the band place, and maybe I took pictures or whatever. All right, cool. I get to airdrop it to the computer, edit on the computer, and put it out there. It just makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, totally, man. No, that's awesome. And so you're Logic on there, are you?
No, I'm definitely Reaper.
Reaper.
I love Reaper.
All right, wicked. I've used Reaper. Reaper's great. Yeah, I was actually using it a couple of weeks ago. It's awesome. So, in terms of like all of you, are you one of these people like me who sort of collects a million plugins, or you kind of lean in that regard?
Nah, I just I look at the plugin, I research it, and if it makes sense for me or if it's something that I'm curious about, yeah, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely more of the outboard kind of guy.
Nice.
I like getting my hands on the actual compressors.
Hell yeah! I just recently have kind of gone in that direction and got a couple of. They're not like super nice. Got like an ART one.
No, those are great.
I mean,
those are fantastic.
It's not. It's just. I guess what I mean is, there's not like some kind of like legendary one, but
it
works.
Doesn't matter because I mean, major studios out in California, Tennessee, wherever you'll be surprised you find them in there.
Yeah,
major studios just because they work.
I've had a lot of fun using it. I've replaced the tubes and stuff, and I've had a blast with them. Yeah,
I'm gonna send mine to Revive and get it modified eventually.
Oh, wicked!
Yeah.
Is that what you're using as well? Is it?
Yeah, Art. I got that.
Yeah, wicked, man. All right, cool. That's good to know. Well, yeah, because I've got one which is I've got one that's like the channel strip one.
Oh, okay.
That has the preamp, the compressor, and the EQ on it. But then I also have just a straight like 2-channel compressor one as well.
Yeah, no, I definitely leave the EQ for the in the box, and then the compression is definitely all hybrid outside of the box.
Yeah, nice.
Really
the fact that it's all outside the box, that's wild. Yeah. That's awesome. Because what I generally do, from outside for the outboard gear, I use the compressor, I guess, just sort of like creatively, just to kind of to get it to where I'd like the sound of it, you know. But when it actually comes to how it sits in the mix and stuff, I mean, I quite often compress it again. Yeah. I probably over compress stuff.
I mean, I actually took the time and the money to actually start learning how to actually use it, because like Kristen, you start off, twisting knobs. All right, cool, yeah, louder is better, yeah. And then when you're listening to it, you hear like all that compression just kind of kicking in.
Yeah, it takes a while to learn about how compressing and limiting works. Hector just got a limiter for his bass actually, and we've been kind of figuring out the best way to use that on there, because it's not a lot of things in life are sort of, what's the word?
Limiting.
I mean, my vocabulary is limited right now. No, a lot of things in life is just sort of like, if you think about it, you can figure it out. But with compression, unless you really know what it's doing, it's almost a bit of a dark art.
Yeah,
you
really
have to sort of read about it a little bit. Yeah, totally. And then have someone, because with Hector, when he wanted to figure out how to use that stuff, we sat down in front of Logic and I had the plug-in open. I was like, explaining the threshold and the ratio and all that stuff.
I was actually lucky. I was when I bought the Art compressor, I bought it from a guy named I want to say it's Adam Schultz, and if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I just suck with names. But he ran his own studio from his own house up in Okeechobee.
Right.
And he was kind enough to sit there for an hour and literally explain what I'm going to be looking for, listening for, and he sat there, use his client stuff, and actually taught me how to kind of use it.
Yeah,
and
nice.
From there, just kind of took off. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to learn this thing.
Yeah,
I have to learn this thing.
No, it makes a big difference, for sure. And I do enjoy the outboard stuff. I don't know if you necessarily, like, straight need it these days. It's more just like a workflow thing. It's like whether you want it or not.
So it's really hit and miss, because there's sometimes where you don't need it, but other times it just kind of adds this, like, bump in the low end that just kind of like fattens it up a little bit.
I've really been enjoying it for bass and for vocals. That's like the bass. I've been doing a lot of stuff where I'm just DIing my bass through the Pro Channel 2, messing with using that for the compression and EQ. I'm getting an amazing tone just DIing through that.
No, as long as you like it, I mean, that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the truth, isn't it? If you like it and it sounds good, it is good.
Well, I mean, you're not gonna. Well, I mean, the thing is, you're not gonna please everybody.
Yeah.
It's impossible to please everybody. So
Yeah,
as long as you're doing your, the best that you can do, you're good.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Absolutely. So then, when how are you doing the guitars? Are you using micing up amps and
Yeah,
stuff?
on those recordings, I did mic up what was like a Fender cab or something with a Mesa head.
Okay.
Good old SM57s. Good tip if anybody's doing home recording. They sell Fredman clip.
Is it Friedman?
Friedman or Fredman? Yeah. One goes straight at the cone. The other one's 45 degrees off, 50 degrees off. But
that's useful.
You blend them together and you get this fat, chunky tone.
Oh, and it's just set exactly right. And you stick it in front. What do you do? Do you like offset it on the cone?
I mean, you could. It's harder to do, with 2 mic stands. But they sell the clip. You grab your first SM57, stick it in there. Your second one slides right in. It's a 3D printed clip.
And you just put it straight in front of the cone.
Straight in front.
Interesting.
You get like a cheap. You can use like a Behringer piece of crap mixer thing, like a 2-channel. Start off with the center cone. Make sure you get that nasty, hissy, fizzy sound. Use the second microphone to start rounding it off, and you start going from there.
Yeah, cool. That clip sounds really cool. Because when I'm recording guitars, every time I mic up an amp, I feel like I do it different. I was experimenting.
No, it always is.
Yeah,
always is.
So it's nice to actually have a thing where it's kind of reliably okay. Well, this is just then you can get the same sound.
Yeah,
that's cool.
No, that's cool.
I'm probably gonna get one of those.
You definitely should. Like right after this.
He's definitely gonna get one of those.
I feel like I've already got one of those.
And every time you use that technique, just send me some money on Zelle.
Yeah, man. All right. So and then with the vocals, I really love studio gear. That's why I'm being so boring about studio stuff.
No, go for it.
What did you record the vocals through?
Those I recorded on a Lewitt 440 Pure.
Okay.
Yeah, Lewitt 440 Pure, and in tandem with the and again for the home guys, Slate Digital's microphones are actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
I've heard about.
Yeah, the vocal mic is it's pretty solid. It's very flat. I mean, it sounds like one of these SM7s.
Yeah.
They're just there.
I've got a couple of condensers, but I use this like pretty much always.
Yeah.
Like I use the SM7 just all the time because I've messed around with other ones, and I find them, unless you're going to get like a really, really nice, expensive active mic, I always find them like to be a bit like crispy.
They can be too crispy, and I mean, this kind of goes into philosophy. Do you really want to spend thousands of dollars on your band, on your project initially? And if you're operating a home studio, I mean, the question becomes, are you going to record Celine Dion?
The other thing is some really enormous and incredible acts have recorded using like 58s, like Blood Sugar Sex Magic. The vocal mic was an SM58.
Yeah, Chino Moreno was an SM57.
Yeah.
And cupped up all the way. So, I mean, as long as it sounds good to you. I mean, I've heard some really poor man's microphones sound really, really good.
Yeah, totally, man. No doubt about it. I mean, knowing me and the way I am, I'll probably end up getting a super expensive mic at some point. I've got one of those warm audio ones at the moment, which is pretty good. That's like a $800, $900 one, which is all right. But it's a bit crispy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Totally. Anyway, stop nerding
No,
out.
you're good, man. I'll sit here all night with it.
Yeah, we can. So why don't we chat to Kristen a little bit? How did you find yourself getting into music originally?
Oh, man. So it was Santa Claus's fault. There was I have a sister that's like 3 years younger, and there was a Christmas where she got a little tiny keyboard, and I took it over, and I had musical grandma's aunt who eventually became piano teacher, and actually that's how they broke to me Santa Claus doesn't exist. I mean, it does for those who believe. He does. But, my dad pulled me aside. I think I was like 7 years old. And he says, I have some news for you. And I'm like, what? And he goes, well, Santa can't bring you the piano. And I was like, what? And he goes, you're getting the piano. It's just that Santa doesn't exist.
Right.
And I was like, oh, but I'm getting the piano.
That's a funny way to do it. Yeah.
You're like, who cares? I'm getting the piano.
Yeah, totally.
That's how I got in. And my grandma's sister taught me how to play, and they tried to get me to really be disciplined, which didn't work. And then I saw Elton John play a concert, and that was it.
So piano is like your first instrument. Do you feel like it's your main instrument?
Oh, not really. I think guitar is, and for writing, guitar. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. When did you pick up a guitar?
Guitar was in elementary school. The end,
Really?
Had a lot of friends that were listening to Smashing Pumpkins and Bush and things like that.
It's funny you say that, because when the first thing you played on the guitar, the very first thing you played on the guitar was like, oh, it sounds a bit like Smashing Pumpkins. I was just with the like double stops and just like how you kind of had it like in relation to the E string, it just sounded like the beginning of like 1979 or something like that. And I was like, oh, she probably likes Smashing Pumpkins, and there you go. I guess it's the beginning of
It's when your brain is ready for it when you're that age, and everything just sticks, and you kind of become a chameleon. So everything that starts coming out of you is what you were absorbing back then. You know?
That's the most important time. Those early teen years they stay with you forever. Like, I don't know for everyone. I mean, but for most people, I feel like. The music you listen to between the ages of like 12 to 16 is just like etched on your soul,
Yeah. That it is,
That's cool. So did you ever do anything, like when you got like older, at what point did you decide you were going to be in a band and stuff like that?
So that was, I actually went to university for one semester for music production and engineering. Oh, cool. And that was when it kind of started. And then I thought it was how to be in a studio and how to record, but it was more, after the calculus class. They're
like acoustics and stuff.
This is how to build microphones and design microphones, and my brain just didn't have at it, So
that's a lot, yeah.
That's when I took a more, the message from the parents that was, do something, work hard for it, study it so that you can make the money to survive. And when I realized that I was not going to be using school to learn how to do music and survive, it became a hobby and then a goal to be in a band and that stuff.
Yeah, nice. And I think that the fact that it's in that place in your head is like, something that you love and that you'll do sort of no matter what. It's a good place to have music in terms of your priorities. Like every now and again, I play music for a living, and there was a time 10 years ago or so where a little bit less than that, maybe 7-8 years ago, where I was like, oh no, do I like not like music anymore? Wow. I really had that thought. It was terrified me, and I managed to get past it. It turns out I was just drinking too much.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But that's cool though. All right, Wally, how did you find yourself getting into music originally?
Me, it's a bit of a roller coaster, because where I come from, I'm Dominican, and this type of music is not very popular.
Sure.
So I grew up like not interested in music at all.
Right. Yeah.
And then when I was like 15, 16, I met one guy who was listening to Nirvana, Alice in Chains, and all that music, and then I was hooked right
cool.
there. Yeah.
Nice and one. It'll do it, that kind of stuff.
Right. It was different, never heard anything like it. I didn't even speak English at that point. So, I don't know. It was something grabbed me there.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a very good friend, Rocky, who I play a lot of music with. His mother's Dominican, and he goes over there all the time. But I don't know. But when you said that, it just made me think of him. He's a cool guy. He's a good local musician.
I have a lot of friends that are. I'm Cuban. I was born here, but I was raised. My parents are Cuban and stuff. And I have a lot of friends from South America and Colombia and stuff like that. And I feel like, most of them were raised with Spanish music, different type, bachata and all that stuff. But when they were introduced to American music, it was the the Nirvanas and the Metallicas and the, you know, like it was all the heavier and the grunge and that kind of stuff. Like it didn't seem like anybody was being introduced to Taylor Swift or anything, you know.
Yeah,
and it was always like
good.
rock music. You know?
Probably because of the distortion and the music is so different to what we grew up with. That's what probably drive us there.
Yeah,
the ones who like it.
Yeah. So, like, in terms of sort of more conventional, traditional Dominican music, just didn't interest you at all?
At all. Before rock, I didn't listen to anything.
Interesting.
I used to like one or two songs, and when I look back, I realized they were not like traditional Dominican music. It was more like, I don't know, pop or maybe Spanish rock from another country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Different.
Yeah.
And that's how
cool,
it started.
though, man. It's awesome. Just sort of, how long have you been playing your instrument?
I would say like 20, 25 years.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Point. Yeah.
Long time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you get lessons?
No, ever.
Like a YouTube university?
No, just
Figured
with friends. Just figuring it out with friends.
Nice one.
There were no tabs back there.
Yeah.
No tabs, no books, no nothing. Because where I was, it's not culture.
Yeah.
So did you start out? I'm assuming you started out on acoustic guitar.
No, electric. Right
Electric.
away.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because I started listening to the music. I like it, and then like a couple of months later, I got to this friend's house, and we found another guy playing the guitar.
Yeah.
And I opened the door, and he was playing the music I was listening to.
Oh, sick, yeah.
That was it.
That's it.
I remember
that's
the
what
first time I heard that. Someone I knew playing the stuff I liked on guitar. Yeah, it was bewitching, you know.
Yeah.
Remember the first time you discovered drop D? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's how to play. That's how to learn.
That's all we do now.
Yeah. Drop D. The moment I discovered drop D was just like a light bulb went off in my head, that's for sure. It was an important day for me.
It's the rite of passage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No doubt, man. With Killbillies, we play kind of Celtic music and bluegrass and stuff, but we're both, Hector and I, are big rock fans and both play in other projects, like rock projects. I'm in a punk band and a couple of ska punk bands, and Hector plays in a rock band. I guess rock band, right?
Yeah, I mean, for lack of a better word, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rock band.
Yeah, totally. So we're into that, all that very much so. Before I moved to the US, I was in this band called Sonic Boom 6, which is like it's like punk and ska, and I did that 100% of the time for 10 years when I did a lot of touring and stuff like that.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, man, since I've been here, just been trying to figure out ways to survive playing music. So far, so good. Got a reverb in my head.
There you go.
Yeah, man. So, Wally, do you do anything else other than play music?
Well, I have my 9 to 5 job.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we won't bother discussing that.
Yeah, those fucking
So, we were kind of playing around with sort of talking about this earlier. So every now and again, and I haven't talked about it for a while with anyone, just because I don't know, no one's really been interested to talk about it. But so I stopped drinking 3 years ago. It was probably one of the most significant things that ever happened in my life, because before that, there's a lot of I was depressed all the time and making terrible decisions all the time, and the effects it had on me since then, just being sober at gigs and stuff, it's just been a totally different experience. Do you guys have any kind of what's your journey with booze and drugs at shows? Do you have one?
Who's worse?
Who
was worse?
It was worse. Yeah, go for it.
I was worse. Okay.
No, well.
So I was a terribly depressed end of teenager, and some of it was out of rebellion, and some of it was out of this feels good,
Sure.
And I lost myself for years. Until I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, you're about to be 26. You're getting really old. Oh, my God.
I would be 26
and
again.
it's time to get your life together,
Sure.
And
it's actually pretty good getting your life together at 26. That's pretty young.
yeah. I mean, you feel you're so old and you've wasted so much time, and you're miserable, right? I'm miserable.
Yeah.
But I don't really know it, but I am, and I don't understand the potential for improvement and for happiness at that point.
Yeah.
My goal is to make money. Really lie my way out of situations and people being concerned and wanting to help and trying to tell me there's a problem, and I just want everyone off my back. And I had taken like the 7-year college plan, ended up with this graphic design degree that was not like worth much to me, and there was this I ended up getting arrested. And I had no choice, because although I wanted to make my life better at going into being 26, I didn't have a plan for it, but the universe had a plan for it instead, Yeah. And I was in front of this really merciful judge, who told me, you can make the right decision now and come to me in a month and pee clean, or you cannot do that, and you can go to jail for 7 years.
Sure.
And, for the first time I was able to tell the truth. She asked me some really blunt questions with my parents behind me. I can feel those laser eyes, and the shame, and just, I was like, this is my chance to turn my life around. This is my last chance. Because these things you can get forgiven and stuff, and expunged and all that. And I took it, and I showed up in that month, and I peed clean, and, did a lot of work on myself through those programs, and they were very much life-saving. They increased my self-awareness. They made me realize that a lot of the misery came from my own flaws, that people are basically just doing the best they can all the time. So I stopped being this victim. I stopped being the victim and got better. And with that, oh my gosh, came like stability, house, So the dream I dream of moving out, when I was little, when I was messed up, my dream was, I'm going to move out of the house.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably work at Starbucks, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be irresponsible.
Yeah.
And, you could tell me that I could have an apartment or something like that. You could tell me that I could go get a career that wasn't this graphic design one and do okay in school.
Yeah.
And you could tell me that I'm going to help kids and stuff in my job, and you can tell me that I'm going to have a band, and I'm going to have a room where I have a little mini studio and drums, and have fun, and our potential as individuals is awesome.
Yeah, it is. No doubt about it.
And we are so blessed, and we are, so in control of ourselves, and you just learn all these tricks to help you cope with life,
Yeah.
And you end up happy.
Yeah. No, that's,
end.
I'm really glad I brought that up, because you said some profound stuff there. Yeah, I don't know. I found it since stopping drinking the biggest thing that I found is that I have time for things now. I'm by thinking about just how I'm feeling and myself less, it's opened up the world for me, you know what I mean? I don't know. So yeah, it's made a big difference for me, that's for sure. Do you have anything to add there, Jesus?
No, I mean, that was pretty dark. Pretty good. I can't top that. No, no, we've all had our run-ins and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, do you guys practice? Let's take it a totally different direction. Do you guys practice your instruments as individuals? Do you sit at home and practice these days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
in terms of the reason I ask is because you'd be amazed how many people don't. And it is actually kind of interesting to hear people's like practice regimen, stuff like that. Like if you were practicing your instrument at home, what kind of thing would you do?
So I got into the habit of like throwing on old disco, and trying to play along with it and figuring out. Every now and then I'll put on like some pop top of the chart kind of stuff, and
Right.
Surprisingly, that girl Tay Tay's in there. I'll practice bass to that, try to figure something out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not musically trained, I can't even tune by ear.
Right.
So I mean, as long as it sounds good, I think it's
Well,
good.
that's an interesting way to practice. You know, that's definitely good to you. That's definitely a good way to train your ear, play along
Yeah,
with stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. What about you, Kristen? You practicing?
When and if I practice, it's going to be piano
Gotcha.
practice, and really try to challenge myself with like hand coordination and songs that I don't currently play, and just like try to be able to play better by ear.
Do you ever write on the piano?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Some piano, some guitar.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah, so one of the things that I found with writing on was just great is like ukulele, because you can kind of take it around anyway, you know. So, I mean, you do end up writing like a certain type of song if you have a ukulele, but they're super portable and awesome. You know, when I've been away on trips and things, I've written a ton of songs on ukulele. I wrote "Get the Devil Off My Back" on a ukulele.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have thought. I guess it does. I guess the original recording has ukulele on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, cool. What about you, Wally? Are you still practicing the guitar these days?
Well, my regimen is non-existent, but I try to always learn new songs.
Sure.
From different genres and stuff like that.
Yeah, nice.
And solo on top of like blues. I put the blues station.
Yeah.
And just let it run and just solo over everything that comes out.
Nice. Yeah,
and
yeah.
just to keep me, loose.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's blues is good because it's kind of like easy.
Yeah.
When you get the hang of it.
Yeah.
But it's the best to learn the solos.
Yeah.
To learn to walk the
and
song
to play the
without thinking too much.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, to be able to improvise and be able to. I think something that's very important. On the guitar, when it comes to improvisation and soloing, is almost being able to play like you're singing it. To be able to know the note that you're trying to play, not just kind of pressing something down and hoping for the best. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I don't think it's that particularly important to play loads of notes in a solo, but you want to actually be saying what you want to be. You want to be saying what you want to say. You know, like you were saying it to someone, like you're speaking. You know. Yeah. So I feel like the closer you can get to that, the better. Really. You know, that's my goal anyway. I can't say I'm exactly all the way there, but
It's good because I hope when I hear something that I want to play, I hope I get there. And if not, I Kurt Cobain it, bend it or drop and then bend.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I think it's probably a good opportunity for us to hear you guys play something. So why don't we have you play us a couple of songs, and then we'll come back and chat some more.
No, sounds great.
Ready?
No,
Great.
I'm not.
Gotta plan
Follow Old English. Got a big old Cadillac to see if you care. Read a book called The Karma Kids. Now I'm who you want me to be. Gonna one-handed blood before us. Am I famous now? 1, 2, 3, you'll never bow to me, 'cause you'll never bother me. You'll never bother me. Give me status. Give me status. Melt my bones. The news will melt my sadness. Give me status. Give me status. Melt my bones. The news will melt my sadness. Will you buy me a diamond ring to show me you care? Blow my lips up until they burst. Now I'm who I wanted to be. Gonna one-handed yoga pants clip. Am I famous now? 1, 2, 3, you will never bother me, 'cause you'll never bother me. You'll never bother me. Give me status. Give me status. Melt my bones. The news will melt my sadness. Give me status. Give me status. Melt my bones. The news will melt my sadness. Give me status. Give me status. Melt my bones. The news will melt my sadness. Give me status. Give me status. Melt my bones. The news will melt my sadness. My sadness.
561 Music is happy to announce our partnership with the 3rd annual Punk Rock Flea Market to hit Fort Pierce. Starting at noon on December 2nd, don't miss the event that's packed with a variety of independent vendors, artists, unique small businesses, and awesome food and drink, all at a family-friendly event. Featuring music by Dial Drive, FWA, The Problem Addicts, Human Error, Colorblind Dinosaur and Constant Throw. Hosted at Tipsy Tiki, this local outdoor venue has undergone a makeover with the same owners as Fort Pierce Cider Works. Bands will blow you away with some great music on their newly renovated stage. So come out and support local music.
We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indiantown Rd, and it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water. And it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of Kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. And yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Route Kava Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. All right, so we just listened to an ad for Live Music Community, which is where we're sitting right now, and it is a school, so it's a great opportunity to ask you guys if you have any advice for upcoming musicians, young musicians.
Yeah. And this kind of goes not only for the musicians, but like as fans and people just listening in general. We have got to change our culture in this goddamn country. We have become so lazy.
Yeah.
So as a musician, don't look for excuses.
Yeah.
We see a lot of bands that they're really great, really fucking talented. They could be the next big thing, but they hit a few, speed bumps here and there. They slow down, they lose a little bit of the momentum, and then they quit.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't do that.
Yeah,
totally. You have to look at these fucked up moments as the test.
Yep.
And you have to come out on top of that shit and then keep pushing.
Yep.
So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I love that. Tenacity. Isn't it the most important quality a musician can have?
Yeah,
just keep at it.
No one's gonna, I wish. And, we used to joke around, with my friends and stuff. It's not like Sony's gonna come knock on our door and offer us a record deal. You gotta earn that shit.
Yep.
If you want to go down that road. Other than that, DIY. There's a lot of good resources out there. There's no excuse why you shouldn't be out there doing something. You don't have to be the next Metallica or Avenged Sevenfold or anything major. But there are people who are making a living doing this. Yeah. So what is your excuse?
Me. Yeah.
So why the fuck aren't you doing it?
Yeah, exactly, man. You just got to stick it out. That's what it's all about. And the last person at the table gets to eat. You just got to be there and just keep going. 'Cause,
it is what it is. You know, and merits don't mean shit. It's the actions that you take for tomorrow. Yeah. So.
Well said, man. It's and something that I think is important to kind of. With that in mind, like that, it goes along with what you're saying is that if you're working hard at it non-stop, you have to find a way that is part of what you enjoy about it, because like the life is about like the journey of life, and so if you're not enjoying building this thing up and a bit, or at least enjoying it in some way, then maybe you shouldn't really be doing it. Because even like the mundane things of practicing and driving here and there and going on tour and things like that, and the struggle of it. I don't know. I found at this point that that's really the part I enjoy about it all.
Yeah, I mean, I actually take a little pride and a little bit, like you said, enjoyment in the shit moments.
Yeah,
that's the weird thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I find it odd, but I mean,
same way, man.
If you're not into it, if this is not something that you're like see yourself quitting your job, making those necessary evil sacrifices, find something else. But if this is your thing, this is where you want to be, just know that there are going to be a lot of sacrifices and investments in yourself, in other things, and just.
It's really time, and I think that is the big one, and people can underestimate, how much time you have to spend doing this stuff, to get it done.
How badly do you want it?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a give and take kind of thing. Good and evil kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny. I saw a movie the other day, and it was these two friends were about to go somewhere. I don't know, something like they were taking a trip like across Europe or something, and they were climbing into a car together. And the one friend was asking the other one, like, well, where are we going? And then the first friend said, the journey is the destination. And that's kind of what you're saying.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter where you're going. Just enjoy the ride. And then when you get there, great.
Yeah. And it's something that, my friend Barney used to say this a lot. There is no destination in the sense that, like, even if you end up like making loads of money and stuff like that, you still have to get up the next day. And what are you going to do that day? The same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like the job of it never actually changes.
Right. Yeah, again, the journey is the destination. There's no actual destination.
Right, exactly.
Well, music's always changing too. It's like, this isn't a fucking video game. There's something new.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years ago, we weren't really thinking about Spirit Box, and dude, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, there's always something new out there.
No doubt about it, man. Yeah. All right. Kristen, you got any?
I would say you're never too old. And what I mean by that is I am talking to you, 15-year-old, who thinks it's too late because you didn't learn, or your parents told you you did a bad job in school or whatever, and you just don't have the skills. It is not too late, And that's the 18-year-old that for sure I'm not going to be cool anymore because next year I'm 19, and that's way too old. Yeah. Because that's the voice in your head. So ignore the critical voice in your head, and then do not take criticism from anybody you wouldn't get advice from.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Because the funny thing about artistic types like us is 50 people will say nice things about something, and then one person will say something mean. It's the only thing you can hear. Yeah.
And it's always the motherfucker that has no talent. They're not doing anything. Yeah, like, hey, man, you got to stop, get something serious going on.
Exactly.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
What about you, Wally? You got any advice for upcoming musicians?
All that aside, the art and the lawyer music and all that, that's perfect. But one thing that I never heard anybody say is take care of the business side of the music.
Yeah.
Nobody tells you that.
Yeah.
I just find that out with these guys now.
Yeah.
You have to take care of that. You have to register your band. You have to register yourself as a musician.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
It's important. It's not
all that stuff.
everything, but it's a small part.
No, you're right. The business side of it gets neglected. I did a thing with some kids recently here a couple of weeks ago where we talked a bunch about that, and it's something that I neglected when I was younger too. I only got all my stuff with that together relatively recently, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
But
so trademark your band.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Trademark your band in 2017 and forget about it.
And then forget about it, and then do it, and then do it again.
Oh yeah, brilliant. So, what were the songs you guys played about?
Oh, so
people
is it's really also addiction and getting better from that, and staying true to yourself. There's one line that maybe there's one line that you can understand in that song, is paying attention to consequences and being mindful of consequences before you do things. That's where that came from.
Great.
And then Old English is about the Kardashians.
Nice.
Kim specifically.
That's really
So
funny.
if you see us, just know Kim K.
And if you don't see us, she had us murdered.
Kimmikins.
We're gonna go the way of Kanye.
So we got a couple of pictures up here of some of your gear. So why don't we take a look? What's the first one? Oh yeah. Okay, tell us about this. What have we got here?
This is Bertha.
That's the backbreaker. That will
Yeah.
blow your back out. Not a fun way to do it.
So when we met Jay, he brought this Behringer X32 rack mixer. And he had this plan for in-ear monitors, and it came in a case that probably weighed more than 200 pounds. It was probably, it's about this tall and one of those big double wooden reinforced on wheels.
Yeah, I got you.
We called her Bertha, and we downsized her, but too much, and then we upsized her to this.
Yeah, there you go. So is this one an X32 or an X18?
X18.
Yeah, that's the one we got, the
Yeah.
XR18, yeah. And we use the in-ears and one of those too, yeah.
Yeah, so, lucky for us, Wally's been, super technically gifted, and, he was born with, wires soldering in his hand.
You're right.
But, yeah, he's really changed up from what originally I thought in-ear system was supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's getting this thing ready for MIDI. Things that I didn't even know we
Nice.
can even think about doing, and so much more compact. It's lighter. I'm happy with it.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one, man. And then the other thing, very interesting that you've got a picture of is looks like a guitar being built. What's going on here?
Yeah, so this is a generic kit model of Gibson DG335.
Right.
That Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl are such an inspiration for what a band, the energy a band should give you when you perform live. And I used to think those ES335s in any form with those little curly F holes were so stupid. And then I saw these diamond F holes, and I was like, holy crap. And I
have a guitar a bit like this. I've got a Heritage that's like pretty similar to, it's that body shape.
Is it still an F hole though if it's not shaped like an F?
That's a good question.
I don't
Diamond
know.
hole.
I don't know. Is it
It's
a
just a hole.
is it a diamond hole?
I don't think you can call them a D hole.
Can we stop talking
I mean, you
about
could,
holes?
but that'd be a little awkward.
And so those are on Reverb. The gold ones are like $6,000 to $9,000. The blue ones are 20, 14, whatever. And so I was like, I'm gonna make my own.
Hell yeah.
And I took this kit. I've already made a couple of my own.
Wow. Industrious.
But this one specifically, I put all these good, cool juju messages underneath,
Nice.
maybe song quotes, maybe just do it, maybe a poop emoji, and a bunch of things, and maybe family members who passed and stuff. So it's just like a good juju guitar.
So you can really make magic with this, like a wizard's staff at this point.
And I was like, let me paint it, So I was like, let me paint it orange, and it ran out of orange spray paint. So, and then I painted it blue, and so, it's a matte finish after all, and it's got cool. What is it? They're good tune. I forgot what. Look, it's right there. No, those are Grover. Yeah, they've got the Grover tuners.
Nice.
And then I have Tom Anderson pickups in them. Like Perfect Circle runs their Les Pauls and stuff, and it sounds really cool.
Nice one.
And,
I've always wanted to make a guitar. I started when I was a teenager, and I didn't finish the damn thing. And I want to do it so bad. You've inspired me a little bit to get on that one.
Oh,
Now,
do it.
is this the one you have somebody painting right now, or you have a different one that's painting?
No, I don't have. That one. Okay, so
Or was that
no,
acoustic?
that was my acoustic.
Gotcha,
That's why I didn't have an acoustic
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
One of
yeah,
our
no worries.
patients has been in the hospital for a long time, and I was just like, "Look, man, please spend the day paint my guitar.
Oh, there you go.
I'll get it at 4:00. I'll drive up, and then I'll bring it back to you tomorrow. You can keep painting it." And then I went there at like 5:30, and he had just started, and like half of it is painted wet paint, and I was like, oh.
That's funny. Well, it's very nice of you, give him guitar to paint, and that's cool. Is he gonna what color is he painting it?
Well, he started painting. I don't know what he's going to do with it. He was painting a base color of white, and then he was going to wait for it to dry and whatever he wants. Like
Interesting.
That's like, go for it.
Here's
Colorful, dark
That's
letters.
kind of exciting.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. So you guys have got a gig coming up, right, on the 21st?
Yes.
December 21st, right?
December 21st.
Yes.
Sandbox in North Miami.
Yeah. Who are you guys playing with?
We are going to be playing with Out of the Ashes and Stereo Jewel.
Cool. Nice one. Yeah, wicked. Like, where can people find out more about that show? Have you guys got socials and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Of course,
so our main page is Instagram at Saint Optional, Facebook as well.
Facebook is st.optional.
Okay.
And that's the only
Where
thing
did the
that's
name
different.
come from? I've got to ask that real quick.
All
before we
right,
get out of
so
here.
there's stories about New Orleans left and right, but yeah, we were influenced. We got lost. We actually had a conversation with Lou Playa, the founder of Reverb Nation, and he was pretty straightforward and said, "Hey, look, dude, yeah, you guys got to change the name." And he went on this tirade, and it all made sense. So we're like, we're lost in New Orleans. We don't know where we're at. We don't know how to get back to hotels. Kristen saw a street sign that said Saint something.
St. Anne.
Right.
Why don't we call it Saint Optional?
Yeah.
You know what, bro? I don't care. I just need to get back to the hotel. So that's
Yeah.
Well, the fact that it's from New Orleans is cool too. There's a nice memory that you think of every time you say the name.
No, it was great down there too.
And Saint Optional is a very unusual name. Super.
I like it.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't mean that in a bad way. It's a very unusual name in the sense that when you hear it, you're unlikely to forget it.
Yeah, you're gonna remember it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
optional, we'd have people calling us optimal, or they just that wouldn't stick. And I was like, you need a one-word band name, and no, you don't want a one-word band name anymore.
Yeah.
These days it doesn't fit.
Maybe
They
we
say-
need to be Saint Kilbillies.
Yeah.
In all fairness, we played a show. It was show. I say it in quotes. It was we were up in Knoxville and we were doing a radio show, and so we were playing live in this like studio thing, and it was like a radio thing we were doing, and they had asked us for all of our socials and everything on this piece of paper. It was a form we had to fill out and whatever. And so everything was right there in black and white, right in front of the host. And our website is killbillies.net. And she kept saying every 2 or 3 songs, she would be like, and remember, you can find these guys at thekillbillies.net. And we're like, we're not the Killbillies.
She said it so many times, and then I corrected her a couple of times, and she still kept saying it.
And she still kept saying it. Yeah.
So it was actually a good story, because then Hector ended up buying the domain.
As
name
soon
of
as we were
Killbillies.
done, these guys started packing everything up. And about 5 minutes into packing it up, I'm on my phone, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, okay, so we own thekillbillies.net,
Nice.
and it's redirected to killbillies.net. They're like, you just did that? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a
I
legend.
don't know how many optional domains we have, but we have quite a few.
Oh,
so-
you have to, man.
Yeah,
You have to.
Because we're not getting fucked. So
Yeah, you have to, man. For my art business, I have like probably 15 different art, like relatable words to what I do that are all websites that are all redirected to my main website. You have to. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the only way to create that traffic. You know?
that's true.
He has a Cuban guy from West Palm Beach with a beard who's an artist.com.
.com, yes.
Yeah.
No
yes.
shit.
No, that's good-looking Cuban guy
Oh,
with
there
a
you
beard
go.
from westpalmbeach.com. Yeah, you got to get it right, man. You got to get it right.
So, we're playing on Friday the 1st. We are playing at Meg O'Malley's up in
We
Melbourne.
are, and I love that place.
And then we can't say where we're playing first on Saturday.
No,
But second,
it is private.
yeah, the second, and it's secret.
Secret.
And then but then in the evening at 7 we're playing at Our Lady Queen of the Apostles Church in Wellington. They're having some kind of festival thing.
Like a Christmas festival or something?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I got no idea what it's going to be like, but we've never been out there. But it sounds like it'll be a blast.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
played
should
at
be
a
fun.
church before, so
Yeah, it should be
we'll
fun,
see how
man.
that goes.
Don't curse and say you know Jesus.
Yeah. I'll say I know Saint Optional.
There you go.
And Sunday you're playing somewhere.
Yeah, I'm playing.
Guanabanas?
Guanabanas.
Guanabanas.
Playing there from 3 to 6. They've started doing those a bit earlier, so if you're planning on coming to see me play at Guanabanas, whatever, it is.
Guanabanas.
It is. It starts at 3 now instead of 4. That's all.
right.
But listen, guys, thank you so much for
Thanks
coming.
for having us.
Thank you for having
It's
us.
awesome
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah, it's
You guys-
been an absolute pleasure. But anyone who's listened this far to the podcast probably knows how to find us. It's 561music.com. All the socials are 561 Music Podcast, and that's about it.
Yeah, and then if you go to the website and you pull up the podcast, if you pull up this episode, or if you find us on YouTube and pull up this episode, it'll have all of Saint Optional's social medias and website and emails and private phone numbers and everything.
Wedding pictures.
Yeah, everything. It's all
social.
There. It's all there.
All right, brilliant.
Yeah.
I'll see you later, guys. Peace out.
Bye.